Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I wanted to talk about the composite chart aspect Pluto conjunct to the south node. So this is an incredibly intense aspect to have in your composite chart. By the way, I'm talking about the midpoint composite chart or the Davison relationship chart. I've already done a video on this in Synastry, so the chart comparison. I have a separate video for that. But in this one, I wanted to talk about in the composite or Davison chart. This is actually one that shows up a lot in people who sign up for readings with me. I do offer readings. And it's always a relationship that has been incredibly obsessive. Sometimes it's one that has been actually traumatizing or abusive, something that there is a need to break free from. And then I give tools and tips. I have tips on how to break these ties when it's a toxic tie. So there's definitely a very Plutonic energy throughout the whole relationship. Now, this can be for better or for worse. This isn't necessarily a bad aspect to have in your composite chart. Neutral is not the right word, but it can go either way when we have this conjunction. But it definitely shows that part of the relationship's ultimate purpose is to transform you at a deep level. I think of the composite south node as like energies that are seriously embedded in the relationship, like even potentially coming from past lifetimes together, that need to be outgrown in a way, but that's not even the right word. It's like a healthier version needs to be integrated of Pluto. So you have to look at the Pluto of both people in their natal charts and see like the pain signature or like the trauma signature of that Pluto. What's the sign, what's the house, what are the aspects that are being made there. And through this relationship, they need to outgrow that or like take it from the low to the high. That's the thing about Pluto and the sign of Scorpio is like you're either the lowest devil or the highest angel, right? And with this relationship, we can see those potentials of it being, like one of the most soul-destroying, life-destroying relationships of your life, or the one that really catapults you into your highest destiny and soul's mission and purpose. And that is through pain, through alchemizing it, through transmuting it, right? Now, these are not easy things to deal with, especially for the average person. So it's usually going to be a more difficult aspect to see in the composite chart, but it can be very rewarding to have this in your composite chart, and it's definitely going to be unforgettable. So you might as well start working with it and working with the energy, and whatever it's bringing up in you is something that is helping you. You can look at it that way. Now, you might need to, if this person actually is abusive to you, you might need to actually walk away from the relationship, but you're still going to have that ruminating, that obsessing going on with it. And then that's when you can look at yourself. That's when you can really see, what's being triggered, and look at your own natal Pluto and really see how this person brought that out of you, best and worse, right? And it's definitely one of the more heavier composite chart aspects. I would also look at the house placement that this is taking place in to really get the vibe of the past life energy that you guys are carrying together as a couple, the energy that needs to be integrated in polarity. So you can look at like the opposite house. I know this is I think this is a Jeffrey Wolf Green technique, but he has a book on Pluto in the composite chart, and his whole thing is like with Pluto that we need to integrate the polarity point, which is like the opposite house or the opposite sign. So with this aspect, you want to look at the opposite the opposite house and sign. I don't use signs in the composite chart, by the way, but maybe you do, and that might work for you. So we want to focus on like letting go of the more negative aspects of the house placement and embracing more of the other side, the other house, and then that point of polarities where we're really going to meet in the middle and have this like integration, and that's when this can function at a more healthy level, if that makes sense. It goes pretty deep. I definitely recommend his work and his books on Pluto. Very, very powerful. And yeah, that's a good place to look, I think, if you're having this aspect, because it's bringing up all of your Pluto issues in both of you. And so to really like understand your own Pluto on a deep level and understand the composite chart Pluto on a deep level is going to really help get you through this. Now, let's say Pluto is making really nice aspects to other planets in the chart, and there's the rest of the composite chart is really solid and good. This can just be like a stepping stone, and like this will just add this extra level of like intensity and sexual attraction and pull, and it's like this magnetic force when we have Pluto conjunct anything in the composite chart, and especially the south node, because the south node is like the point of karma. It's like where you're coming from, both combined as a couple, what kind of karmic energy you make. And to have Pluto there, it shows that this is a highly significant karmic encounter. And yeah, it's just an incredible indicator of passion. The passion with this aspect can be unmatched. And you want to look at the north node too, and like I said, the opposing sign, the opposing house, to really get part of the picture of what your purpose is together as a couple, because you have a big purpose together as a couple, if you're a couple, or if you're not in a couple anymore. It's like what this relationship has transformed in you, what it's brought up in you is the medicine, or it is the lesson. Like this could be the relationship that like takes you from one way of life to a completely new way of life, and like you can transmute so much of your own south node, your own Pluto, and become this like higher, better version of yourself because of this relationship. And I think that is part of its ultimate purpose. Now, I do think that there could be that in a past lifetime you both like used power over each other in a negative way, and that is like what in this lifetime you are meant to not do. You're meant to be empowered in yourself, but not use that power in a negative way to try to control this or try to control this person. And that's where Pluto can get ugly, is when you're misusing power, right? And so you could say that one of the karmic signatures of this relationship is that there was some sort of misuse of power. Like maybe someone was the other's slave or something, and now you're here to work out these themes and like be just equals, be both powerful in your own right. You're not stealing power and energy from the other. You're not taking a piece of them or trying to control them like the puppet on a string. Like you're just both, like you might need to separate in energies, cut psychic ties, both be empowered in your own self, without the relationship. And then that's when you can come together as a couple and really even like teach others on this stuff. Because like, yeah, I feel like the highest manifestation of this aspect in the composite chart would be like a couple that is actually teaching on like attachment styles or healthy relationship, codependency, even like healthy use of power, or like self-esteem or self-worth or trauma healing or something like that. Like it would be like a couple that uses Pluto energy, which is all about transmutation and transformation, and uses it for good, especially if this conjunction was taking place like in an angular house where it's more visible, like the 10th or the 1st or something. I think that a really good use of it would be to have some sort of joint healing mission together. Now, if you're separated, you're not together anymore, it's like the relationship can still help you activate this on your own. You're going to be more psychic in this relationship. You're going to be more spiritually powerful because of this relationship. And that is like the highest use of it, is to like hone in that Pluto power and use it to activate yourself and your mission and your purpose here on this planet. So yeah, that was one of the more deeper videos that I think I've done. I think that is maybe going to go over some people's heads, but this is a deep aspect, and that's how I would describe it. That's the best way that I can describe it at this time. Good luck to you guys. If you have this in your composite chart, I'm sending you all the love. I love you guys. Thank you for requesting this. I'm not surprised that you did. Like I said, this aspect has shown up so many times in clients' charts, and it's always a very transformative relationship, for better or for worse. So yeah, I'd love to know your experience with this one. Was it intense? Was it? I bet it was. Let me know in the comments, you guys, and thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk soon. Bye.